Hey everyone, welcome. We're going to talk about a little bit about weight loss, what to do, how to help it move forward. What do you do when you plateau? And so, real quick, I just want to say that none of this is to treat, diagnose, cure, prevent any sickness, illness, or disease. This is just my own research and experience, and I'm sharing it with you all tonight. So, and if you need any info on weight gain or weight with kids, I have some extra resources that I'm creating. You can just ask the person who invited you or ask me and I'll get those to you. So a little bit about my story and how I got started was actually because my husband had IBS. He had a lot of inflammation in his body, which we thought was weight, but it was actually inflammation. And so what we did is we started working on his gut health. I saw how great he was doing on it. So then I started taking it. I just had a baby. He got that extra baby weight. And come to find out, I had a lot of inflammation too. I was always athletic, healthy. We didn't eat terrible, but we didn't eat like super amazing. And come to find out that a lot of it had to do with excess candida, some MTHFR, some hormones imbalances. And so I'm really thankful for what the triplex and the X Factor, and really just learning so much in this community has brought freedom for me and my family. It helped my husband so much and helped me so much as well. Here's a fun story for you. So when I started Plexus, I was actually eating a pan of brownies, a whole pan of brownies every 3 days. And I could not have it. So I don't know if you've ever had where you have had to have something you've been craving and you call somebody, call a friend, call a husband, and you're like, you better not come home unless you come with a package of brownies. That's where I was. That's what was going on. And I chucked it up to, just having had a baby. And so I'll have my little fun thing. Well, come to find out that was actually imbalanced hormones, imbalanced blood sugar, and my gut was craving sugar because that's what the yeast wants. So that's my story. It was amazing. Probably 4 months in. Well, each month it felt a little different. Like I'd take a bite, I'd walk away and be so surprised because I had to eat like 3 or 4 brownies in one sitting. It just multiple times in the day. It was just how it was. And then come by about month 4, I just didn't want it anymore. I wasn't craving it a whole lot. And I felt like my face just thinned out. I hadn't lost a whole lot of weight off my body at that time, but my face, I always had this round face and people would be like, look at your cheeks, I want to pinch them. Well, that was all inflammation, y'all. I still have great cheeks to pinch, but it's not as like round and you can see my eyes when I smile. And so it was just really, really eye-opening starting to learn about the effects of gut health on how I was feeling and how tired I was and brain fog and all those things. So what does weight do? It affects our mental health. It puts our joints at risk. It requires more energy. We're tired more because so many things are out of balance. And then you have chronic health struggles, you have higher risk of cancers and heart disease. It's the #1 killer of people worldwide. And so the things that are critical for weight loss are gut hormones. So this is really interesting. The ability to lose weight is dependent on if you have good or bad bacteria, because the bacteria in the gut releases hormones to either have things be stored as fat or to or estrogen dominant stuff happening for both male and female. And it's on the rise for males, y'all. And I'll get to that in a minute. So they have studies that less diverse gut microbiomes actually find it harder to lose weight. And they definitely put the weight back on if they do lose it. Now, here's the interesting part. Not all of this is genetic on a human cell level. We have
It's like same thing with like cigarettes.
We have the gut bacteria is 250 to 800 times more genes in our gut than we have human genes. Does that make sense? So your gut bacteria, the expression of genes, outnumbers like 10 to 1 of the genes you're expressing in your body. And so it gets into bloodstream, it impacts our body chemistry. So another key piece is inflammation. So this inflammation will increase weight gain. And weight gain will increase inflammation. It's a nice little tango that it has. And it is key to reduce inflammation. That key piece of reducing inflammation is actually going to help propel your weight loss forward, because when you have uprise of inflammation, you have an increased insulin resistance.
You want a nice sandwich?
Yeah, can you make sure you stay muted? Thank you. That the the insulin resistance and the leptin resistance. Now, leptin is that hormone that makes you feel, full. You're like, okay, I'm done. If you don't have that happen, you have where you're starting to overeat, and that actually puts stress on your human genes if you are overeating. And so when you reduce inflammation, it reduces neuropathy, back pain, chronic pain, so many things. And so another key piece is balanced blood sugar. Balancing your blood sugar reduces inflammation, it reduces stress, and it increases cellular communication, which is good, because what happens is when we start becoming a little bit resistant to sugar, and it will not show up on blood work panels, the insulin is, the glucose is knocking on the cell. Well, if it's too much and it's too annoying, the cell turns off the receptor. Well, it still keeps knocking. And what does that do? It causes cellular inflammation. And we talked about that just before. And so it's really key to help keep that process of the flow of glucose and insulin and that balance happening, so the cells can be healthy and be able to take in all the nutrients that it needs. And so one other key piece, and we're going to get into it later, is your liver. Anyone ever told you take care of your liver to lose weight? Probably not. So we have we have a health triangle. You have your diet, your movement, and like exercise, and then supplements. And one thing I want to really encourage you is look at your motivation. Why are you doing this? What will it look like? How will it feel? And what does this mean to you? What will you be doing when you're able to get rid of the inflammation and weight? Keep that as a picture, because that's really good, having the motivation to move you forward. So let's talk about diet. So if you have toxin loads, the quality of what you eat matters far more than the quantity, because preservatives, enriched food, artificial dyes, flavorings all add a toxin load to your body that it has to get rid of. There is no option of opting out of this. It has to go through a system on a cellular level and through your gut to be excreted. If this is not working properly, it will get stored as fat, because toxins are damaging to your body. It's a safety mechanism, and there's no way around it. So, you see that you're now getting stored as fat. And so what happens when you lose weight and you gain back? Well, what's happening is you've opened up the detox pathways, which you have cellular, and then you have your gut, and you have different organs that are helping. Well, if something along that line gets blocked, then it will not allow the flow is not going through. It's like a drain, the pipe gets clogged with something. It's only going to allow so much to go down. So our other piece is movement. So to utilize the calories you're intaking, the good ones, not the ones that are all fake and full of chemicals, and utilize fat, you have to be moving. So nutrition is just as important as our movement. I don't know if you guys heard sitting is the new smoking. And so movement with like weights and stuff is really, really powerful, because more muscle burns more fat. So you get your calories from real food. When you are moving, it is helping actually your lymph system move. Your lymph system is your liquid waste system. So if it is staying stagnant, guess what's happening to your liquid waste garbage disposal process? It's staying stagnant. It has to move with muscle contraction, like getting up and moving. So if you have where you're sitting a lot, you've got to start creating breaks to start moving. Me having little kids, that's not hard, but probably as they get older, I'll have to be more intentional. So it's important for not only your body, but also your heart and your weight loss, because it has to get all the junk out that you're starting to burn, the fat. So supplements, they can help fill nutritional gaps, which can help the body work well, the way it's designed. It can help cravings get to the root of things, and it can help you maintain weight loss and fitness levels. So expectations, let's talk a little bit about that, because a lot of people, trust me, I get it. We want to like get the fat off, get it done and be over and moving on with our life. Well, the reality is our body works in 90-day cycles. So you'll see the fruit of your labors on the month 4. So 90 days is 3 months. So month 4 is actually when you're going to see a lot of your bigger milestones happen. But if it did not take 90 days for you to gain all that weight, it is most unlikely that it's going to take 30, 60, 90 days because your body is not designed to have a quick turnaround like that. What has happened, time has compound against you, whether you knew it or not. And now we have to reverse and let time compound to help lose it. And that's how you get it to stay off and not come back. So this is a long-term health solution. And if you have other health struggles like reflux or headaches or different things going on, your body will prioritize those and making sure you're not getting damaged by whatever is causing those before it will release weight. Because again, toxins, your body puts toxins into fat. So all fat has some type of toxin load. All right. So did you know that most likely if you cannot lose weight, it's your liver and your gut are not working the way they should. So the liver has many functions, and one of them is actually a fat burning organ, and it regulates fat metabolism. So here you have, this is how it flows in the detox pathways. You have cellular, lymph, liver, gallbladder, and then gut. And gut health is critical because if the candida in the gut gets out of balance, starts going, you have more bad than good, which means you're supposed to have 80% good and 20% bad. Typically, people end up having 20% good and 80% bad. Well, candida, the first place it loves to migrate is your liver. And so just realizing that it will go to other organs, it will get in your bloodstream. And so when you have less liver function, you have less bile, you have less disinfectant happening for the GI tract, which then causes less liver function, less bile, less disinfection. Do you see how that's a cascade effect? And you're going to end up in a place of not only having a lot of weight, but then chronic health issues pop up. So this is what's called dysbiosis. And one other thing, definitely, I'm going to throw this out there and y'all going to love me for it, is parasites. Okay, we can talk about that later. I'll do another event. So what impacts the liver and the gut are diet, medication, stress, and MTHFR. If you don't know what it is, don't worry about it. So and not only that, you have the liver, gallbladder, kidneys, pancreas, and spleen. So if all of those get impacted by your gut, they can actually be in normal numbers if you get your labs done, especially liver. And this shocked me actually, that it depends when they draw the blood. If in that moment in time, your liver is like, or any organ is fine and not actively struggling, like fatty liver, it's not actively compacting, fat in the liver, it will not show up on a blood thing. It has to be via a scan. So being proactive here without having symptoms is very important, because I'm sure most of us have taken a Tylenol or ibuprofen at some point, or antibiotics. And those impact as well our health and our ability to lose weight. Who knew? And so what do doctors say when you're like getting up on the scale of weight? They're like, you need to lose weight, but that's really all they have. And that's all they're trained in, unless you go like an integrative way. So what we need to do to be proactive and owners of our own health is recognize what our bodies are saying and what we need to do. So let's dive into some of the tools that we use and love. So most people don't realize that their blood sugar balance is driving a lot of their eating habits. So one little tip, stress releases cortisol. Cortisol gets lowered quickly by insulin. So let's say you have a stressful moment and you're like, I want chocolate or sugary something or salt. So that's an interesting thing, huh? So it actually spikes your insulin, because typically salt is on chips and things like that. And then to lower the insulin, guess what gets released? Cortisol. Well, cortisol spikes, and then the insulin, you eat the glucose, and then the cortisol gets released because your blood sugar goes up and drops, and you have that crazy cycle again. So we have something we use, which is called the pink drink. My kids love it. It is incredible for helping with sugar highs, especially post Easter, y'all. So when you have unbalanced blood sugar, it looks like moody, hangry, brain fog, craving the sugar and salt I talked about, being tired, really fatigued, crashes in the afternoon. So this helps balance your blood sugar because it has antioxidants, essential minerals. It increases your glutathione, which helps with liver support, and it helps with stress. So it's going to help balance cortisol. It's not going to get rid of it. So don't think you can stay in stress and this is going to be a magic fix. It's not, but it's going to help make it not as damaging. So what you'll see is sleeping better, improved memory, sustained energy, and balanced hormones. So even for men, like what I was talking about, studies show that they're having trouble maintaining proper testosterone levels. This is amazing compared with the other two things I'm about to say. So the first version we have of that has prebiotics, which is food for the good bacteria. And this specific prebiotic is special because it does not feed the good and the bad. Most prebiotics, like if you take kimchi and stuff like that, will feed both. It's just how it works. This one only does the good. The second version we have has no prebiotics, but it actually has double the fiber to keep you fuller longer. So if you have trouble with stopping eating, you need to feel fuller longer. The word escapes me, but it will help you feel fuller longer, and it's great. So gut health. Everyone is born with a little bit of yeast, and scientists have figured out that it decomposes us basically when we die. That's why we have it. And so with what I've mentioned, the stress, medication, diet, all those things have impacted our gut so much that the candida, the yeast, there's other really bad bacteria in there. It is overtaking and basically decomposing us before we die and poking microscopic holes in the lining of our gut. And that's where the term leaky gut comes from. So a lot of times you'll find you'll take probiotics, but it's basically like throwing good grass seed on weeds. The weeds laugh, the grass seeds die. So our probiotic is different because, and it comes in this cute little bottle, it is dehydrated. So it's in its active state until it makes it all the way to the intestinal tract. Then it releases, and it's been found to make it all the way to the colon. The beneficial strands that are in here make it to the colon. And it has antifungals and digestive enzymes. Well, that's really important because those enzymes and antifungals crack that outside shell of the yeast and the bad bacteria. It's called a biofilm. And what it does is it opens it up and then it goes in and kills it off. That's important because the outside of that shell is as hard as a cockroach. So you have to have those to rebalance your gut. I mean, it's really powerful, and it is anti-inflammatory strands. So it is very healing to the gut. Not all strands are anti-inflammatory. There are inflammatory strands, and that's a big difference between ours and other ones. So you'll see better digestion, better sleep, not regaining weight if you're on the right dose with a good diet. And so candida is really one of the main reasons, and those other bad bacteria, I cannot pronounce them. They're really long names, but they're why we can't break the weight plateau. The toxins that they give off alone gives enough for the body to keep creating stores of fat. They're called neurotoxins and other toxins like sulfur and different stuff that we don't need extra things in our body. So we want to kill it off and get it out. So the next piece that we use is called the BioCleanse. It's an oxygenated form of magnesium. It helps cleanse on a cellular level. It is not a colon cleanse. It is going in and removing fungus, bacteria, viruses from the bloodstream. It's helping increase GI mobility and cleaning out the crevices. I don't know if you've ever seen the inside of like how it's all wrinkly in the intestines? Well, there's lots of cracks that you need help getting all the stuff out. So it helps alkaline the body. 90% of the population is deficient in magnesium. And so this helps get a piece of that in. Magnesium controls over 300 enzyme processes. And so that's incredible, making sure you're addressing that nutritional deficiency and you're reducing inflammation. So ProBio 5 basically cleans the toilet, and BioCleanse is helping flush it gently out. So the Slim, the ProBio 5, and the BioCleanse are a gut health system bundled together called the triplex, and it is very powerful. But a lot of times we need additional things to help with our gut health. So we have things that help with that liver support, because that organ is really important, and that's X Factor Plus. It's a fully methylated bioavailable vitamin with an aloe base that helps you absorb everything 300 times more. And we also have fermented greens. If you can take those, they will help fill nutritional gaps, but they'll also help pull a lot of toxins from the body and the bloodstream, and it will help boost liver efficiency as well. This one is incredibly good, and even kids can take it. So, and this, when you support the liver like that, that is increasing your liver detoxification at the same time, which helps you burn more fat, y'all, and excrete it. So sometimes our bodies might need a reset. And so what we have used, and I've used, I've been going on my 5th one, a 3-day nutritionally supported fast. So this reset is not like a typical fast. It helps reset your metabolism, your immune system. It helps detoxify your kidneys, liver, and your guts. And so when we have used this system multiple times, it has a compound effect that helps speed up the body's natural detox processes so everything can start flowing. Because again, we are more liquid than we are solid. So it's actually a liquid fast, and it comes in a box. Let me show you guys. Comes in this cute little box, and everything is inside, pre-packaged for you for 3 days, all your meals, everything. And it is really great for reducing inflammation as well, which we talked about that being a key piece. So if you need a jump start or multiple jump starts, I have found that after about the 3rd one, my body shape changed and did not go back. So it was very, very cool, like muscles. It was awesome. So that's just to help get you a jump start and use it as many times as you want. So a great place to start is Reset and Triplex, and then you add in extra tools as you're going along. You got to make sure you're drinking enough water, because toxins only leave your body attached to water and essential minerals. So if you struggle getting enough water in, or it's hot, or you have a really active job, then hydration is key. And I recommend using Hydrate. We have little packets that look like the Slim, and you just take them, have them with you, drink them, and they will help attach to all the hard work you're putting in and doing, and get the toxins to leave and help support your body in the process of losing weight. So I know that was a lot, but I really wanted you to understand why we are recommending like different things and why certain organs need to be supported, because it really was surprising to me as I started to learn that I needed to do things a little differently. As I started to support my liver, I saw incredible differences in just a releasing of the toxins in my body, ability to, as I was working out, the firming up of muscles, and it's really powerful. So the key points, again, let me go over. Candida, it drives weight plateaus and weight gain. Gut health is very important, so is liver support. And you can do it with a clean diet, or if you really want to go hard, macros. I have not done anything like that yet, but just having a clean diet will have huge impact on the body's ability to lose and keep off weight. And your body is telling you it needs help. Weight is really a symptom of something that's going on. And so addressing the inflammation, the gut health, and the balancing the blood sugar are great tools to help you get you where you want to go, and giving it time as well. And honestly, you might need high doses of the probiotic, depending how many, antibiotics or things you've stress is going on. So keep that in mind as well. So this is all about maintaining a healthy lifestyle to help create longevity and quality of life. And it is very possible, and the science is out there, and I am excited for you in your next step and what's going to happen. So get back to the person who invited you, ask them questions, find out more details, and I hope you guys have a great night.